I would like to call upon Sally's subconscious, please.
You're here.
Thank you so much. Are we able to do a body scan for the body and see what's happening for her?
She's doing well. She is very relaxed.
Wonderful news. Are you able to balance and heal anything in her body that needs to be balanced and healed?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Fantastic. If there is any issues with the body, will you be able to tell me and let me know?
We will. There's none.
Fantastic. Well, high five and jazz hands for her. Thank you. Subconscious, we have some questions, so we were hoping that you could entertain us with your fantastic wisdom once again. So we won't take offense if there is some questions you can't answer, but we will still ask just because we're in that mood. So we would like to know, please, since your contract has changed since we've been doing these sessions, she asked about Thanksgiving and she asked about Christmas. What is the information you would like her to know about purchasing gifts and organizing the events for these activities?
We see her Thanksgiving as quite normal. We do see the family eating together. Christmas. Undecided.
Okay. And so does that mean that potentially the major shifts haven't happened by then or something else?
We do not see the major shifts happening before or right after Thanksgiving. However, there is some uncertainty around Christmas.
Okay, well, thank you. In terms of, she was wanting to be able to learn more about when would the official point of what we call old Earth, when would that be? Would that be, say, for example, the event of the impact of the laser or something else?
We see the exit point of the laser as the first large wave of humans leaving this planet. We see many people also exiting the planet, not from natural disasters, more from, as you would term it, the COVID and the vaccine. And from there, the third wave would be exiting the planet entirely. That's what we see.
I see. Okay. And so tell me more about that. Will that occur before or after the laser?
Many have already died from the COVID and the vaccine. There will be more though after the laser. She forgot the question.
Mm-hmm. We were trying to figure out the point of when we would be starting to call this experience Old Earth experience. And we were trying to understand what you were saying in terms of that there would be many exit points, but it wouldn't be because of natural disasters. Can you expand on that, please?
Mm-hmm. It seems over time, the laser event happens quick, very quick. Quick exit points for many. Many people also perish from the COVID and the vaccine also quickly after, and natural disasters will occur very soon after also. It's almost like natural disasters, it seems, will be more prolonged and spread out. They're occurring after the laser event and more so on the old Earth as the planet is, I guess you could say, releasing more and more and breaking down. We see in between more COVID and vaccine deaths, however.
I see. Okay. I'm curious why there would be more COVID deaths. What's going on there?
We see hospital personnel over oxygenizing the lungs when it's not necessary. It causes permanent damage. It's like it seems like they've been doing it before, but it's going to continue. It's like a malpractice. Like they're just doing it and they're not really considering. They don't want to try other options. So they're just continuing with that method, and it's causing more damage and death. And the vaccines over time was purposeful because it was their exit point. So it's like that was meant to be for them. That was their life contract. And so it'll be more at that time. We're trying to understand why. I think it just takes a little bit of time for it to start. I don't want to say breaking down the body, but it can affect the body depending on the person. Like weakening them. It won't do that for everyone because that wasn't going to be their exit point, but it will be for many.
I see. And of course, those exit points are in the contracts.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is.
Did that have to change? Because potentially there may not be enough natural disasters to excuse all these people leaving, so the old Earth people could still have that pure experience without knowing where they were exiting to?
Yes, we don't see, with the old Earth, we don't see huge landmass destruction. So many have been given that exit point now instead, as timelines have changed.
Okay, and so can you tell me why there has been a change? Why from one session you said that she wouldn't be seeing Thanksgiving and now you're saying she would? Can you help us understand this?
She will be having Thanksgiving here because she's needed on the old Earth. And so she will be extending her stay. Those who are gathering this information now in these sessions are needed now because it is going to be helpful for those who don't know this information to speed up the process and to help those who are going to be staying on old Earth with this knowledge. It is the reason why this information is being shared. It's going to help more people when it is needed.
Okay, and so what ideally could some collectives come in and be able to help us understand what ideally, I know you've said this in many sessions before, but how are we supposed to help people? Do you want us to do our inner work to be able to be more of service, or can we just be as we are? What would you like us to focus on?
Let's focus on gaining greater knowledge of yourself, having the ability to remain balanced and more neutral around pressurized and triggering situations. There needs to be a sense of, you could call it like a loving, peaceful supporter role in the old Earth. And also during the laser event and during the many deaths, to help those around try to understand the higher perspective, and it'll help those who will want to go into a victim mentality realize that there's more going on and that we are greatly protected. We all greatly loved. And it's going to be difficult for people to try to understand that these exit points were already decided upon and agreed upon by the individual. However, that is why we are gathering this knowledge and information now and confirming and updating as necessary to be that supporter and to help them understand and ground themselves at that time.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And I can understand those who are here experiencing many exit points from not natural disasters. This would be a very overwhelming situation for them. What are the lessons that they would be experiencing and learning from having to experience that?
don't take people for granted. We tend to not value people as much as we should. We tend to value more materialistic things. And that is probably the most important one, is to really focus on those who are around you, who show you love, who are in your life and make you happy. Just appreciate them, value them, because you're not given forever. And yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So then she's wanting to know what it's going to look like in her area when she is experiencing the old earth. What can you tell her?
Stillness. We see stillness. Standing outside. Quietness around her. We see cars parked haphazardly next to front doors. In front windows, we feel like it's almost like it feels more protective that way with the person inside. Like we see like a car, and it's almost like people start doing that, putting it parking next to their front window, their door. Trying to see what she does. If she drives or anything, we're trying to see here. She's driving, going past stop signs fast. No one's around. Trying to see where she goes. She is in her local area. There's grocery stores and restaurants. Windows broken into. We see that. Glass. Like they've been going in, taking some things. Looking at shopping carts are all over. It's very eerie, quiet though. Just these people grabbing stuff, holding them, running out. There's like a stillness in the air. It's almost like anxiety in the air. She feels it's like she's in the car alone. But we don't know why she'd be alone. She's looking at the grocery store and she wants to go in, but she's nervous to go in. She doesn't want to be alone.
And so do you get a sense of what happened for all of that to be at that state? So has the laser already occurred after that point?
Yes. Yes. Many have gone. There's just like a quietness, like there's no cars. It's just empty. We feel many are in their houses though, guarding their house. Almost like they would only go out if they have to. You don't see them in their house. There's a darkness in the house. Hmm.
And do you get a sense of, as you were saying, suddenly, well, is it suddenly like from the more, so after the event of the laser, this is then when many people are exiting from the vaccine and the virus. Is that correct?
Yes, it feels like people just drop down, like they just drop. Like they would be standing and then drop.
And subconscious, we know that when they drop, they have left their carbon-based body and gone into their crystalline. Is that correct?
Yes, it's we feel more the vaccine causes that reaction. But not all vaccines would do that. It's just those that have already agreed upon to leave that way. And so not all will exit that way from the vaccine. Some will not have any symptoms that would cause that. Just depends on the contract.
Yes, and so then it would make sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, that people would be exiting not just on one big day, but would be a lot in many days, and is a long period of time that they are exiting from the old earth. What's the maximum that someone could stay on the old earth?
So we got a sense, we were thinking of the vaccines, and we were getting a sense of between like a month to 2 months of them exiting that way. And then the old earth, we're getting 9 months. 9 months. We're not sure if that means those 2 months as the 9 months or in addition to that.
And so after the laser event, the longest someone can stay would be 9 months after that. Is that what you're trying to?
After the laser event, would be 9 months. We're getting 9 to 11 months, depending on how 9 to 11 months, depending on the people's choices. People's choices.
Would it be if they did their inner work on the old Earth?
It'd be faster, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's what we want. That is why we have the people who have the knowledge to be there, because after a certain point, it almost seems like it wouldn't do any good for them to stay longer. They'd be more willing to adjust and learn sooner. So that's what we're wanting for them.
Okay, well, thank you. It's very extraordinary times. So thank you, thank you, thank you. She was curious about Nibiru, in terms of, can people who shift to Nibiru then be able to shift to what we call New Earth?
Oh. We're laughing because we don't really. You can't. You can, depending, but we don't really see them wanting to necessarily. It's like they want something more. Because they get a simulation, so they get like, if they saw the new Earth, they would like it, but they would almost be wanting to grasp for more. In certain situations, they can, of course, shift there if they want to, but it's like they'd be looking at it as a very short term, I guess you could call just like a place to recharge and just enjoy. And then after that, they wouldn't really see the necessity of staying very long. I want to move on to more.
I see. That's very interesting. Thank you so much. Then she wants to be able to know about the new Earth, and tell us about babies and being born on the new Earth.
There's so much freedom on the new Earth. And we understand how having a baby and having a family would be ideal for those who are looking forward to that. And you are going to feel so loved and so free on New Earth that the thought of having I guess you could say, like a normal family with children is not going to be a huge ideal there. It just seems like everyone is free and they can go about and have their own adventures. And they don't really need to have a nuclear family, because everybody there feels like your family. There's no separation of any kind. It's pure love. And we're trying to see if they do any, if people actually have babies or not. We're going to try and see right now. Mm. Mm. You do see a woman holding a baby, but we're trying to understand if it's just a short-term feeling of having that experience. Trying to understand. You can have a child if you want to. It's all freedom, of course. However, it's almost like everyone comes together and is their family. So it's not like a nuclear family like you would expect here. Everyone is family.
Fantastic. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are you able to show her visually what it looks like to give birth or to create life on New Earth?
Mm-hmm. Being intimate. You can shapeshift. You merge with the person. It's like almost like two different colors. This is how we see it, of like, it looks almost like smoke, and you can like wrap around each other, underneath, around. Every cell is the feeling of sexual bliss and satisfaction is felt in every single part of you, no matter. It's like you're smoky, shape-shifting, intertwining, but yet you feel like you're a body. It's like you feel your form, and it's like having an orgasm from head to toe and all over. It's something that we don't experience here. It's like a full body, in and out, like every single piece of you.
Thank you. I feel like it would be inappropriate for her to for me to ask you to give her that experience today. And so in terms of then the growth or the production, how does the baby grow? Are you able to give us an understanding of that, and then what the birth look like?
It's like a manifestation of the person wanting to experience it. So it's not like physical in the sense, it's more energetically birthing the energy. If the person chooses to, of course. They don't have to create if they don't want to. I see just almost like emerging out seamlessly, no pain, no nothing. And then it's like a little crystalline body coming out. Looks like a baby. It's like if you want to manifest something, you can, if the person chooses to. And see the woman holding the baby. It's just very easy and calming and loving and creative And it's a very sweet experience. It just feels like the baby, though, it's quite like, doesn't need a lot of help. It's interesting. Like it gets, it's like almost like it comes with some kind of intelligence of its own.
Does it really require a female to give birth there? And do we still have one gender, or can you tell me about the genders on New Earth, please?
It feels like you can embody more of a certain gender if you want to. We see the baby as androgynous. We don't know male or female. The woman who wanted to manifest it, it like came out of her energy. And it's almost like in the beginning time, people will feel like they want to embody more male or female characteristics, I guess you could say, just because they were used to it at in Gaia. However, we do see them being androgynous. I think it's more of wanting to embody both, and yet no gender. And I think that's feels like a personal choice at a certain stage when you want to do that.
Fantastic. It's so interesting. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want her to know about New Earth?
Everybody will feel extremely loved, and we could see romantic relationships being just amazing. No jealousy, no acts of betrayal or feeling like you own the person. There's none of that. There's just pure freedom with love. And that's a really difficult thing to understand in this human mind, just because relationships here are so difficult and wrapped with much negative emotions, along with the positive, of course. But there, it's just like pure freedom. It's quite refreshing.
Oh, I see. Thank you. She was actually wanting to know about twin flames and also soulmates. Is there going to be anything like that on the New Earth?
So, soulmates are when you recognize a person that you've had many different lifetimes with, and you really care about them, and you will recognize your soulmates there in New Earth. You do have, we get the sense that everybody has many soulmates. It's not just romantic, of course. It can be family members and friends. So the answer is yes, you will find many of them and connect with them in in New Earth. And twin flame, it's a concept that is very much been popularized lately. It's like more so a soul twin where you share the same, it's like blueprint, same essence, like the most similar to yourself, your soul. And it doesn't feel like there's not as many, so you wouldn't really encounter a soul that is very similar to yours like that, unless there is a purpose for it. And usually the purposes for that would be to trigger that love, extreme love, so that it will resonate out onto the planet and raise the vibration of the planet to help those around that could use that higher love vibration. And it is with the new earth, the love is so strong. You could consider it very similar to that love. And there's usually a greater purpose with the twin souls meeting than it's not necessarily like having a romantic relationship, but just sending out that love, and it's like makes them better people when they meet, and it helps all.
Lovely. Okay. And so for this planet, what would you like us to know about the twin flames and the concept here?
It is needed to raise the vibrations, and it is something that a person already knows in their contract that they're going to agree to. It's like you're assigned that meeting of the twin soul when you can hold and embody that intense love for another who you don't know. And it's become a concept more recently because it has been part of life contracts to help raise the planet frequency, the people on the planet's their frequency to help with this shift. And it's been ongoing. It seems like it's been ongoing for many years.
Yes. Thank you. Does seem like there has been many delays. What recently has caused the delay? Is it still the same reason as we've always heard, or is there another reason why the delays are occurring?
The delays with regards to the shift. Is that your question?
Yes, sorry.
Yes. Well, there has been much, seems like fear and wrong information. It's like confusion. There's been some confusion. People are, their minds are not like clear, and there was much fear. We see events that have caused the delay, and it's like news on the news, like people, how do we say this? It's like something bad would happen, and then it would kind of like pull us all into fear and confusion again. And it's almost like the news is a big issue. Like the media is causing much confusion, much fear. People just focusing on wrong information. It's like they're not ready. Like they weren't ready to, they couldn't shift because our teams are so, love us so much, and we just wouldn't be ready. It just wouldn't have worked. Even last year, it wouldn't have worked out well for us. We'd all be in panic and confusion and fear. It's like we weren't ready for the higher perspective yet.
In terms of humanity being ready for the higher perspective, what do you see? How long?
There was many awakenings last year. However, it was almost like a stepping point for many who were just completely unaware of everything. Like they believe the media, even a year ago. And so it's been a very slow road because they're shifting through false information. And it's been taking a while because they're trying to find the truth. And they're getting stuck on false information. And it's creating this really, it's like they're just on this like weird wheel, and then they're getting like wrong information after wrong information, and then they're feeling bad about themselves, and they need to seek the higher perspective, higher information, because this is making them not feel good, and they're trudging through it now. Oof. Let's see. Many are waking up. Many are stepping into the light. Those who are still trudging through it, let's see. We see from now, we see 6 months. 6 months for many. Some before that, because they're gonna be really confused with the laser event, and they're still gonna be in fear and confusion, and they're going to believe the news, and it's going to take some time for the information, the truth. So it's like we see some time after the laser event. It'll take some time for some. So maybe we're seeing like 6 months from now, 4 to 6 months from now.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, we understand that even with such a laser event, people will still not be able to see the bigger perspective of things, as they are still drenched in fear. So we can understand that. Unfortunately, we can. And so we had another question about the laser. When it impacts the earth, what else, or does it do anything else? We understand that it does etch into the land and makes path of a destruction.
Mm-hmm.
We were wondering if it did provide electrical bursts and impact surrounding areas.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we see many earthquakes also around. It's kind of like trigger the land where it hits. Some places will experience earthquakes. We're trying to see about the power lines. When it hits, it's going to damage many structures. I do see power lines snapping, breaking, power outages, going lights off. Electricity off. Fires. We see it in the areas around where it hits. much damage, much chaos.
We were wondering if then it could be said that the laser impact could create fires off the location of the actual laser strike because of the power lines or power cabling or something like that.
We don't know how far away. But we do see the power cable snapping. We see sparks. We see them hitting the ground. We see fires. Yeah, it's it's fire. We see fires. We do, yeah. We just don't know. We don't know. We don't see the laser actually. It goes past it. Goes past it. The power lines. Catches fire. Snaps. Goes down. And then flames. See it shooting past it.
Okay, thank you. And is there any more information you would like us to know about the laser? And did you want to tell us how many, is it one line or is it many different lines or marks that it leaves? What can you tell us today?
There are possibilities of 3 at this time.
Is it just the one satellite that is capable of doing this, or is there more? We're just focusing on the one. We're just being focused on that one that we see. It's like burst out, and there's possibilities of more. Like it wouldn't just be one burst. It'd be, we see a few, we see 3. I see. Okay, thank you. We understand the significance of the purpose of it. So thank you. What else can we ask you? We want to be able to ask if there is any other information or new information that you would like us to learn today.
Is it a very specific topic?
No, we're open to learning anything new that you would like to share with us.
We have a suggestion to those who are listening. We would like you to start talking to your team. We feel like those who are listening to these videos don't quite understand that. But it's helpful to already talk to them now and ask for their support and love now, and to sit in a quiet place and close your eyes and speak to them out loud and ask with your free will to communicate with them. They want to communicate with you. They want to help you. They want you to discover yourself and how truly amazing you are. And we want you to do it now. We want you to start practicing now. Whether you're here or not on old earth.
And can you remind us what the benefits are of connecting in with our teams now?
They will help you figure out things that you don't really want to admit to yourself. For example, we say inner work all the time, and it basically means things that you've never wanted to acknowledge, that bother you or that hurt you. It helps to look inward, and your teams can give you some answers if you're not quite sure what's really bothering you. Maybe it's something that happened when you're very young and you pushed it down, but it wants to come out and it wants to be acknowledged, and we want to release it for you. I want you to heal now, because it can help those around you. And if you start practicing now, you can assist those and remain more calm when things start becoming more tense. It'll be most helpful and make you feel better, and the person feel better too.
Indeed, thank you so much. From the accounts that I have discussed with others, many people are being very triggered right now. I'm assuming it's because of the frequency of the high vibrations and the inner work that is being shown to them. Is there any other reasons?
That is the main reasons. It's people hold so much pain and hurt, and you could see self-hatred of themselves, and they don't even know what they're doing. They don't realize, and it's just readjusting and seeing what you don't want to see and feel what maybe you've not want to feel in a long time is what's causing that. Feeling so uncomfortable because it's just wanting to come out, and we're wanting it to just be released, and the higher vibrational energies opening the truth up, and people's hearts are opening, and they can't hide their inner work anymore. It is wanting to be seen, as wanting to be released. You want that to happen, the truth. You want the truth of yourself and the work you need to do to be released. And it's just facing it. And it does feel uncomfortable. We know. We've all been there. And you can do it. We know you can. We are still doing it now. No one's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And those triggers that come out are very purposeful to see the inner work and see what's going on.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, that is really perfect. Thank you. And then subconscious, in terms of her last connection from the 5 that she has had, what would you like her to know, please?
This never happened in the other connections, but her soul wanted to jump out of her body, and it reached its energetic arm out towards the person. It recognized, her soul in her recognized the soul in the other person and wanted to merge with the soul so badly. It was, if it had the will, it would have pushed her to stay, but it couldn't force her. As she was walking away, its energetic arm threw itself out of her body to try to reach out. The energetic arm of the soul of the other person also tried to jump out, threw its arm out, tried to connect, and it didn't happen. And the soul was upset. They wanted to merge. They wanted to merge. They've been waiting to find each other, and we want to say they're very similar souls, like someone like, I don't like labels, but like a mirror soul where they're very, very, very similar. And it was agonizing for the soul to not be allowed to merge. She felt this. She felt the arm swing out of her body as she was walking away. And it was the most intense, strange feeling. And she did want to go back, but this is a human experience and that'd be considered weird. That person also felt it. Never felt that before. This was new feeling. The soul never was so adamant. It was getting very, almost like it just saw its other self and wanted to merge. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like us to know about that connection?
Connection is intact. I feel like in the spiritual, much telepathic tenderness going back and forth, energetically wise. Just like much tenderness, much caring. The souls, they know. And there's, they will meet in dreams from time to time and through space and distance, because there's no such thing as that. So the souls are able to connect that way. And that is what's been happening.
So extraordinary. Thank you. And will the other person shift around the same time as her or another time?
We feel this person is going to have a similar experience and will shift with the old earth because they have gained much knowledge recently and they can be of much help to others.
Okay. Thank you so much. She would like to know about her sister-in-laws. What would you like her to know about that?
Hmm. They want to, hmm. For some reason, we see them wanting her to be school. Like they want her to just be, how do we say this? Something about her they don't like. They want to almost like get rid of her in their life. Squash her down, push her down, want to rise above. We just see them like pushing her down and wanting to like step on her, step over her, step on her. She's tried many times to have a good relationship with them, and then something would always happen, and it'd be like taking 2 steps backwards, where just something, just anything would just be push them back, like just never could be any cohesion. There's just like they don't want to like her.
Have they had other lifetimes together?
Okay, so we're seeing a girl. She looks poor, on the ground, torn dress, dirty. A man is standing over her, laughing at her. We see money, gold, or coins strewn on the ground. Trying to understand what happened. Trying to understand. It's like he threw money at the beggar. I feel she's a beggar of some kind. Threw coins at her. She's crying, and they're all over the ground. And he's laughing at her pain. It's like it's hurting the girl and it's embarrassing her. And he's somehow liking that he's over her.
And can I ask which one was Sally in that lifetime?
She's the man. She's the man that is treating the young girl like that.
I see. What was the contract in that lifetime together? It's for the girl
to not allow others to, I guess you could say, bully her, push her around, just because society looks down on her. And for the man to learn compassion. It was like he was triggering her so that she could learn that lesson. And we don't know if he learned the lesson then of compassion. We feel like he didn't, because he didn't care.
And so in this lifetime now, what can you tell us about what they want to learn and experience from each other?
It feels like almost like not like the roles are reversed, but it feels like the sister is feeling like she has to reciprocate somewhat the pain that Sally once caused her. And it's balancing it out now with the energies for it to be completed.
So what would you like Sally to know, and how would you like her to approach this with her sister-in-law?
She should look at her with more compassion. She has put boundaries up because it was getting to be too much. Because the sister-in-law was saying things about her child too that were hurtful to her. So she was putting up much boundaries. She doesn't. She does send healing and love to her, and we just ask that she looks at it also with compassion, that it's balancing things, and that way it doesn't have to be repeated again. It's righting itself, and just stay in more compassion for the person, and you won't feel so hurt.
Yeah, well, that is so interesting. Are we able to send love to both of them in that lifetime, the other lifetime, so they can learn compassion and understand what they were needing to do in that lifetime, and heal and release them from that? And may that merge into this lifetime where they can now see each other with fresh new eyes and fresh new hearts and fresh new feelings. Is that something we can do today? And can we do anything more for them, please, subconscious?
She would very much like that. Very much. We can do that now for them. And there is something more we could do. There is much judgment the sister-in-law lays upon Sally's daughter, and that has caused Sally much heartache. And she would like for that to also be helped, because she doesn't understand why her daughter's, why there is much judgment on her. She's not sure why.
Is there another reason why, or is it just a reflection of what the sister-in-law is feeling because of Sally?
That is part of it. Another part is that Sally's daughter is not, she's different than the other children. Seems like she doesn't try as hard to gain admiration by the sister. The sister-in-law likes when children want to, I can't think of the word, want to not flatter her, but want to like try really hard to be in her good graces, and she wants that. And her daughter is more honest and less, I guess you could say, more of herself, and doesn't put on any kind of show or mask. And that really bothers his sister-in-law. She doesn't understand it, and it makes her feel less in control of her daughter.
Okay. What would you like Sally to know about her daughter, please? Because she was also wondering how to best to navigate that.
Her daughter is more new to Earth and doesn't really understand connections as well. Has a very difficult time understanding the social masks and the norms, and the need to be almost like more ego-minded. And her daughter doesn't really like that. Her daughter's very truthful with herself and doesn't want to hurt anybody, but she just wants to be free and be herself, and allows others to do the same. And for someone who wants control, that can be very triggering, especially if the person is a child. She wants the child to be in their place and more controlled.
I see. And how would you like her to, moving forward, how would you like her to support or understand her daughter?
Sally does a good job of accepting her daughter for who she is. We can't prevent others from not liking it. And the best thing to do is just to remind the child how loved they are. And as long as they're not hurting anyone, which she isn't, she's very sensitive. She's not doing anything wrong by being herself. She doesn't have to try to be something she's not. And Sally knows that. And that's why her daughter trusts her. And her daughter has a very loving home. Both parents are very accepting of her where she is. There's just sometimes others that aren't. And that's okay.
Regarding the daughter, what did you want to experience this lifetime?
She wanted to, almost like she wanted to come in, arms flailing, just could be any emotion, anger, just wanted to experience the emotions, but so sensitive. So she needed parents to really know her and accept her. So, like with a strict parent, it would just cause her to go more and more inward and become dense. But with a mother that has very open-minded conversations with her and a father that can laugh with her, it's allowing her to feel the emotions and the density, and yet also be able to release it as quickly as it comes. It can quickly go. So it's just having that ability to not feel like she can't do that. She can do that at home.
That is special. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you. Subconscious, we did want to ask also privately about the last essence of Gaia that is still here. As we know, she hasn't fully shifted. Can we send her love? Can we send her appreciation? Is there anything else we need to know or anything else we can do for her?
We can send her love and appreciation. She is highly protected. There's much silence. We don't feel like a personality, but we do see the energy. Yes, love, appreciation, gratitude, thanking all those who are protecting her now. Very important that they're doing this at this time. We appreciate them doing that. And of course, just sending her profound love and support as she is readjusting. Further part of her. We aren't sure if she's on New Earth yet, but we feel like there's readjusting going on with her right now.
Well, that's exciting. It is so exciting and such a relief that she is out of that pain.
Oh, so much relief. She is so happy and so light and was I just couldn't wait for this day to happen. And then it happened, and it's like a miracle for her. It's been so hard, and she held on for so long, and she loves so much, and she's so happy, and she's wanting us all to just be happy too.
Thank you. Thank you. And so now that she's no longer in pain and there is no urgency for things to go, are we just simply waiting for humanity to wake up enough now? What's the wait for the events to unfold?
We were waiting on healing of many collectives, and that has already begun. Many of these sessions have hit on those who have never been looked at or sent healing. That was part of it. That helps raise the vibration, because a lot of the collectives that we were asking that they no longer need to be here have left the lower density vibrations, and humanity is at that edge, very, very, very edge. It's hard to say when it started, but when the quarantine, it began that quest for truth. And then they were just falling into these traps over and over of not useful information, fear-based, much fear, confusion. Just, it didn't matter. It wasn't higher. It was like this unnecessary low density political stuff. People were latching on to that. And I think what we're seeing is people are starting to realize that the things that they were promising them, for example, with the monetary system, the Nasara Jasara, the arrests of celebrities that were public, JFK appearing, we're seeing all these things that they're saying was going to happen, didn't happen. And it's not going to happen the way they say it will. And people are starting to now question that. And it's going to cause them to look elsewhere. But it was like they had to know that it's not panning out. They were on this hopium of information that wasn't true, and it is not panning out. And we are waiting on more to look elsewhere for the information. We are wanting it to happen. We have been waiting. We have been holding off on other things that we need to do that are more that are necessary. This is, of course, extremely necessary, but we have been here a long, long time. We are getting tired of this. The humans are taking longer, which we know is going to happen. After seeing it happen over and over, we were hopeful it would stop happening. They get into these strange thought patterns and they cannot get out of them. We don't want to stay here much longer. We are ready to leave, to continue with what we need to do. This can't last. This can't last. We have all collectively decided we are wanting them to seek our information. And we want them to talk to their teams. We want them to do work. Stop thinking they can just slide through life. It is not the time. There is not, we don't have all the time in the world. That's not true. We don't want that because there's much more riding on this planet with others and other planets, and we are on a standstill. It's affecting many. We don't want this. We want it to continue and be done.
Thank you.
We are triggering more people. We are triggering more. We're trying to leave them. We are sorry. We are just frustrated.
Well, I think it's necessary to trigger people if they're still not using their free will to explore their inner work. I don't know what I can do. What else can I do to help? I feel like I keep trusting that more and more people will find these sessions, but I also am very aware that there is other people selling fear and disinformation that have got a huge audience who seem to be continually providing fear. I don't quite know how I'm supposed to find and support these people when they're so addicted to fear.
Yes, we understand. It is frustrating. Those that want to listen to unnecessary stuff. It's unnecessary. And there is free will. We cannot, we would like to, but we cannot interfere. You are doing such a service to humanity and to the collectives of many different races. And we love and appreciate you. And what we can do is just ask with our free will to create thoughts, seeds, ideas that individuals can access through their team. We ask for the teams for their help. We are all in agreement with what needs to be done. We are aware of how we can help our humans. We ask them all now, all the teams, to please give them seeds of thoughts, help them awaken to the truths of higher perspectives. This is taking too long. We need you, please. We don't want to go against free will, but we can always insert a possible idea or thought that they can decide to accept or not. That won't go against free will. We can just put it there. And then if they want to, they can look into it. Because there's all information just right there. It's like that higher perspective is all within the air. We'll just push it towards them more. And you're doing a great service. You have nothing else to do. Just keep doing your sessions. And if you feel a calling to reach out to someone, do so. You know you've been doing this already.
Thank you. Just trying to find the balance between enabling them and empowering them.
You can throw out information. It's up to them to grab it and look into it. You don't enable them if there's access to the information. They choose to listen to it or not. It's up to them.
Absolutely. Definitely seen many people listen but haven't been able to apply the concepts.
And it may take them a few times to realize it's almost like when they hear it, sometimes they consider it to be surface. It doesn't hit them. It doesn't go into them deeply enough because they're not really ready to hear it yet, and they need to hear it more. It's a new energy, higher energy, and it needs to be integrated. And sometimes if the energies are not aligned and it feels off balance, it won't feel right at first. It won't feel like they can resonate with it. And that's okay, because with different videos, they can choose the ones that are being presented to them. Their teams will help, and it can manifest slowly or can cause them to think about something just from the video itself. So if they don't gather the information from the video, but yet it causes something to awaken in them, a thought or a pain, that in and of itself has done a great service for them.
Wow, I'm very grateful for that, for them to be able to have that. I'm always appreciative of all the information you've provided in these sessions, subconscious and all the collectives that have been. So thank you so much for always supporting us.
Of course, we love to be here and help you all. And you're always here. If you need us, just call out to us. Ask for us, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there any final information you want to share with Sally?
You're very calm since watching these sessions and doing these sessions, and have gained much balance. And we are glad, because you will be very helpful to those who will need it. And we thank you, Joe, for helping many and doing so selflessly. We see all, we know all. You're much appreciated.
Well, thank you. I'm just hoping that we can support as many people as we can through these times.
Yes, and yes, we, Dolores, She's like pointing at you, like you're the one who's doing it all. You're helping so much. She can't even. It's like you're just like, oh, A plus, A plus for you.
Thank you so much. I think it was when I just started noticing how much the collectives were just really done with this project and just really wanted things to move forward. I really got a sense of their urgency, and it's so frustrating to try and encourage others to see and sense that when they keep choosing to just ignore it.
Yes, it's everything is on standstill, and it's very frustrating, very annoying to us. We love you all. We do. But you're really upsetting us. You're breaking our hearts. This is too much. We are doing so much. And we have so much other things to do. Please, please, please. We ask you, please, please, do your work. Try. We love you. Please.
Thank you so much. I think maybe people just need to get a bit more serious with the issues at hand. They're getting so complacent. They're not seeing that it's just about at breaking point.
If they don't see it, they feel like they shouldn't believe it. Please, if you go inward, if you spiritually accept that you have a team for you that wants to talk to you, there's so much more awareness there for you. You are not just a human body. There's much more there that you are.
So true. So disconnected from the self. It's thank you. Okay, thank you. Are you able to please release all that density now from Sally's body? I would really appreciate her to feel refreshed and wonderful all over after the session. It's taken a lot out of her body, and I don't want her to feel the density of any of this. As we have learned these lessons now and we can hear it, she can release it now, please.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have released it now. She is good.
Thank you so much. I do really appreciate that. And I do really appreciate her for being of service. So thank you.